Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Fietta. Welcome to today's app overview. Today, we're going to be doing Symptom Guide Dementia, and here's what the app looks like. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how to change your phone from dark mode to light mode, and that's because for this app, you should actually have your phone in light mode. And I'll show you why. The first thing you'll see on the app is a sign up page. You sign up with your email. If you're in dark mode like I am at the moment and you click to sign up with your email, you'll see when I type, the letters are essentially invisible. And that's just because the phone's light dark mode setting. So we're going to change that first. I'll just go to phone settings and I'll go to displays and brightness, and you'll see you can click a bubble under either light or dark. You may already have your phone on light mode, and if so, no changes are needed. I'm going to go ahead and click light, and then I'll go back to Symptom Guide Dementia. And when I do that, you'll see that now when I start to type in my email, it's visible. So I'll go ahead and you can either sign up with your email. I'm going to sign in because I already created an account. When you log into the app, you'll see three primary screens or pages. So there's overview, symptoms, and account, and you see those through icons at the bottom, left, middle, and right of the screen. The first page I'm showing you is just the overview. You'll see right there at the top, you can add a symptom. And the next thing you'll see if we scroll down is a little prompt, and this is just encouraging you to add symptoms at least once a week. And here they offer to send a reminder. And then at the bottom, to kind of get you started, if you like, they have 10 of the most common dementia symptoms per the app. So if you'd like to click that and just start building your symptom list based off of these, this might help you come up with some ideas of what you might be seeing or experiencing with the loved one that you're caring for. First thing I see is symptom categories. I can pick, for example, memory and language. If I click on this, it'll show me several different areas of concern. So I'll click on general memory. And then with that, we have some specific examples of symptoms associated with general memory that you might be seeing or experiencing. So you can simply click on any of the examples that apply to you, and then keep scrolling down and you'll see a next button or add your own symptom description. So let's say that you're observing a symptom related to general memory with the loved one that you're caring for, but you don't see it on this list. You can just add your own symptom description. I'm going to go ahead and use the three that I clicked there and click next. And then you can add a little bit more information on how frequently you see this symptom. It could be something that you only observed once, or it could be something that you see all the time. I'm going to go ahead and click some of the time. And then you'll see two buttons at the bottom. One is add another symptom if you have several symptoms you'd like to add at once, or done. So if I click done, it'll add that symptom. It's a general memory symptom, so it's adding that category to my symptoms page. And side note, one of the things I like about this app is you don't really need directions to use it. Every button, or at least most of the buttons, tell you exactly what to do. So for example, this button says add a new symptom, exactly what the button does. Since I have multiple symptoms now, I'm going to rank them. And this is very personal. So sleep disturbances, something keeping you awake, keeping your loved one awake, causing you to be exhausted, that might be a really important symptom, something that you want to prioritize, bring up with your healthcare provider. And so you might rank that first. You can re-rank the symptoms by clicking re-rank, or confirm if that is what you think is the most important symptom that you guys are experiencing. Okay, so let's look at these symptoms now that we've added them. So we'll start with general memory. If I click on this, you can see this chart has been started. There's no changes in this chart because I've just added the symptom. Okay, you can also modify that symptom by clicking add more. And then when you're ready to track this symptom, say it's that once a week adding time, you can click yes, track now. And with that, you see this nice scale that says that the symptom is anywhere from much better all the way down to much worse. And the smiley faces and then the color scheme helps make that really clear what they're indicating. So I'll say somewhat better, and then it'll take you right to the next symptom. We added sleep disturbance. I might say somewhat worse for that, and then I'll click done. And that's all you have to do when you're tracking symptoms. That gives all the information needed. Now, when I click on sleep disturbance again, you'll see there's some fluctuation in the chart because I've added a little bit more information about how that specific symptom has changed over time. If you scroll even further down, they have a nice feature, management strategies, and this just gives some ideas on how you might address this symptom. If you click see all, you'll see a list of ideas that you can go through. Now remember, not all of these management strategies are going to apply to you. Everyone's very different. Every experience of dementia is very different. But I know from my personal experience as a caregiver, sometimes you just need new ideas. So it can be really helpful to go through these and then modify any of these suggestions to fit your individual situation. All right, there's one more page I want to show you, and that's the account page. It's this last one. So when I click on this, I can build my profile to be a little bit more specific. So at the top, it says your profile. So as a caregiver, you can add your age, your gender, and then your relationship to the individual you're caring for, whether that be a sibling, family member, spouse, or partner. If you're a physician or a caregiver, there's also a slot for you. Then a little bit lower, you can add more information on the profile of the person with dementia. So their age, their name, gender. You can also add education level because that can be important when knowing what to expect with a diagnosis of dementia. You can add how long someone's been experiencing the symptoms of dementia. You can add whether or not they've actually been diagnosed. And then if so, the type of dementia. And then the medications that they're taking. You can also add information on the current living situation. You may be a caregiver who's caring for someone who lives in your own home, but there are other situations in which you're a caregiver, but you don't actually live with the person who has dementia. They may be living at an assisted living facility or a nursing home, so you can put that specific information in here. Something else that they let you add is whether or not that's changed recently. So there's an option, recent changes in living arrangement. If you toggle that on, you'll see previous living arrangement. So you can add information on whether that's changed recently. Why might that be important? Well, if somebody's gone from one living arrangement to another living arrangement, and all of a sudden their symptoms change a bit, you know that living arrangement change may have had something to do with that. So it's a good discussion point with a healthcare provider. All right, and then a little bit more information at the bottom, you can see a Contact Us button. So if you're interested in contacting the app developers, it provides an email and an address there. Now, if I go back to that overview page, the page at the beginning, you can see an overall status picture right here, and that gives the general information about the symptoms I've added. So that will change if you add new symptoms or take away symptoms that you have added. You can also click, this is a really handy feature, View Full Report. Again, I'd like to point out that this button tells me exactly what it does. So that's really helpful. Even if you're not used to apps, this app gives you directions as you use it. So if I click View Full Report, it gives me a nice overview of all of the symptoms that I've added and how they've changed over time. And then I can also click Download Full Report. And then from Download Full Report, I can share that report. And I could share that with a fellow caregiver via just sending them a text of this PDF. I could share it with a healthcare provider or anyone else I feel needs that information. All right, that's a summary of the app. It's very clear, very simple. Again, there's only 3 primary pages. It's always easy to find your way back home. One of the reasons I think that this app could be very helpful is because as a caregiver, there's a good chance there's a lot on your plate. You're seeing these symptoms, but you might need to know how they've changed over time. the specific dates that an incident happened that changed how a symptom presented or how severe it was, or if maybe a symptom disappeared. Those are things that you want to keep track of, but it can be hard if you're not only aware of symptoms, but you're trying to manage them day after day, caring for the needs of your loved one. The other thing it can be really helpful for is communicating with healthcare providers. They may ask you questions about medication changes. They may ask you about how things have changed over time, if some things have gotten better or worse. And you might know these things, but it can be really hard to recall specific information. So having an app like this, where you can actually download a report that shows specific days, changes, what's going on, can be really, really helpful for something like that. If you're interested in using this app for yourself or for someone you're caring for, I encourage you to consult your healthcare provider first. While I'm excited to tell you about this app and show you the different things that it does, this is not intended to be medical advice or recommendation, because I'm not that kind of doctor. My name is Dr. Julie Fietta. I work through the Cirrus Research Center in University Laval. Thank you for joining us for today's app overview.